Yo dudes, what's up? This is PlanetKeef, I'm Keef, and today I'm going to do something useful with one of my many routers, one of my two routers in fact. This is the one that I know how to work. Basically what I'm going to do is, well, two things, or two versions of the same thing. Plant pot trolleys. We've got lots of plants inside the house and some of them are quite large and their pots weigh an awful lot and occasionally they need to be moved. So it would be really useful if they were on a little platform with casters. So you can buy these things, but they're ridiculously expensive, and mainly because the casters cost a lot of money. You know, I've seen a set of 4 little ones cost like £10–20. You know, I'm a total cheapskate and I'm never going to pay that much. But fortunately, in the next village, there's a place that sells kind of industrial offcuts and just leftover stuff from industrial processes, and fabrics and bits of wood and things like this, and all manner of bizarre stuff. And I might go there with my camera one day and show you what they got, because it's brilliant. Anyway, so we got these, £1 each. Yes! So actually this is a total upcycling project. I got this chunk of oak which came from the top of a chest that we got from somebody on FreeCycle, and it's it's a teeny bit warped, but that's not the end of the world, and it should give us a nice finished edge when I've routed it. So the first thing I'm going to do is screw this to the worktop because well, it'll be more secure than using clamps. Nice and secure, so let's figure out how to actually make a circle with the router. And actually, before I can position this properly, I need a hole for the centre marker to go into. So I'm just going to screw the centre pin in. Okay, that's fairly secure, and then fit the rod in and tighten that with the wing nut. Now I need to get my depth set. So I'm going to start off with a V cut and then go around it with a straight cut. So that's the depth sorted. Now I need to get the distance from the centre. Tighten up that one. And we're good to go. So let's put the gear on. Crikey. Well, I mean, that's pretty good, apart from when it hit the screws in the corners, which I know now I should really countersink those properly. Now I need to turn it over and do the same on the other side. Right, I think we might have a tiny bit of misalignment because, I don't know if you can see that, if you look there, there's like 2 millimeters to the edge, and this looks a little bit less. Well, I'm not too worried about that because it'll still work. Okay, I've changed the bit and changed the depth as well. So it's not the neatest piece of work I've ever done. And my final cut didn't actually go all the way through. So I've got this kind of problematic edge to deal with, and now it's separated from the thing that was fixing it. So, clamps, I guess. Right, well, that was a lot harder than I thought it would be, but so what? Yeah, this edge is still pretty ropey, so I'm not going to show you that, and we'll position it somewhere where it can't be seen. But the rest of it I'm quite a happy bunny. Bit of smoothing and sanding, and I think I'll oil it and then I'll whack the casters on. Right, there's the board, oiled. It's amazing the difference that oil makes, and this is just, well, it says it's chopping board oil. It's just mineral oil, nothing special, and you know, pretty cheap. So casters, I've decided not to use these because they're too pretty. Well, that's the wrong way to put it. They'll be more visible in the second one that I'm going to make, so I want to save those for that, and I'll use these somewhat less pretty ones for this. So just screw them on, and really, well, I should do a mathematical thing and work out, you know, 120 degrees, but I'm not going to. Okay, I've drilled pilot holes, and I'm going to use these screws. If you're interested, they're well, I got them for fixing the panels onto the greenhouse, but I got the wrong size. So these are 1/2-inch self-tapping screws, and let's just whack them in. Good thing is they've got a nice wide flange head, because these fixing plates have got massive holes, and I haven't got enough washers of the right size to deal with that. So, yeah, result. And before you know it, you've got a plant pot stand. Yay! Or a circular skateboard. That's pretty cool. I could motorise that and maybe add a remote control. Plants wandering around the house, that'd be fun, wouldn't it? Or am I being silly? Okay, that's that one. Right, so I'm going to do the next one using these slats of wood, which unfortunately have a radius edge. I could take that off, but I'm not gonna, because I'll have a similar radius edge around the disc. So before I can do anything, I need to fix these together. So this is the top of the plant pot trolley. I'm just fixing it temporarily with these lumps of 6mm ply. I'm not worried about screw holes because it's going to end up painted, so I'll fill those and sand them down nicely. Also, they'll be under a plant pot. So. Right, there it is. So now this is the bottom. So now I need to screw this to the worktop and then cut the disc. There we go, and they're all nicely countersunk because they need to be. Okay, let's set up the Raptor. Right, the depth is set, so it'll just do about half the depth because I don't think I can cut the whole thing in one fell swoop. Right, this is actually the third time round and we are cutting all the way through now. Well, this is massively annoying. I've got all the way around there, around to here, and I've broken the bit. So I've got another straight cut bit, but obviously it's well, it's twice the diameter of that one, so I'll have to position it carefully so we don't start cutting on a different line. Okay, here it is. So now I'm just going to use this little baby, which is a round over bit, to put a radius around the edge and the other edge, and then I'll fix it together properly on this side. And this is the kind of bit that has a guide roller on it, so it doesn't need, I don't need to attach the router to the circle guide thingy anymore. It's the material that guides, which is good because I need the hole to fix this workpiece to the workbench. I'm pretty pleased with that actually. So my next job is to fix a couple of rails which will be the permanent supports on here on the underside. Actually no, I'm not going to use rails, I'm just going to cut a disc of this 6mm ply because I've got acres of it and I quite like it used up. Well, that was fun. Done it. But I actually managed to start a small fire amongst the sawdust, which was very exciting. Okay, so I've screwed this whole lot down onto the bench, and I've marked out all my holes to fix this plate to the strips of wood. And we just need to drill it. I've got 2 holes on each side of each slat. So if nothing else, it should be pretty well fixed together. And now I'm going to countersink each hole, because I don't want my screw heads sticking up. And now just whack a load of screws in. I think I said once on a video that I wasn't bothered about having an electric screwdriver. I was so wrong. Now I'm just going to fill all of these holes except the middle one and leave them to dry. So there's all my rough filler, and ouch, turn it over. I need to get these temporary fixing plates off, and then I need to fill all the little screw holes on this side as well, because this will be the top. Right, now it's time to do the bit I don't really want to do, which is play with the router again, and you know, put a nice radius around the top of this. Well, actually that was pretty straightforward and looks pretty good. Some chipped edges here, but not sweating about that. So now I just need to sand the edges, the top, the bottom, and then paint it. So I've got a medium grit on the sanding machine. And then I'll just finish it off with some fine wet and dry. Well, here's the thing. I thought this grey lid that I could see at the back of my shelf where I keep all my paints and things was matte grey paint, and it ain't. It's well, I'll show you. It's metallic silver, which is utterly bizarre and not really right. So I'm going to use matte black instead. And if anybody knows what that thing is inside these cans that goes rattle rattle, I think it's like a pea and a whistle. But... Right, here we go, black. There it is, nice and slick, smooth. Well, just generally nice. So all I've got to do now is pop the wheels on, or the casters. Ta-da! There we go, another little mini skateboard. Okay, here's my plant pot trolleys in action. These are not the real plants, obviously, because the real ones are very large and very, very heavy, and upstairs I'm not bringing them down. That was quite fun, and they look pretty stylish, I think. Certainly a lot better than the things we saw in the DIY shops. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, share, subscribe. You might even make a donation or become a patron on Keef Cooks. And thanks for watching, and see you next time.